Tim, I talked about Rodri, about trying to get a replacement in January. But the problem is, first of all, there is no replacement anywhere in the world for him. But also, even if you do persuade somebody half decent to arrive, they know, don't they? In 6 months' time, Rodri comes back, they don't play in that system.
Yeah, I mean, it was Fernandinho before him, Rodri now. That you can only really ever have one because they're so important. I still think the solution lies within this group because, like, as you said, adding another piece to it, I mean, maybe it gives them a little bit of impetus and a little bit of a jolt. But, yeah, it's not what they would bring to the team. It's how do you get that player through the door to know that they're only going to be there really on the pitch for a couple months.
Are you surprised, Robbie, he hasn't found the solution yet?
Whether he's got somebody in mind, I mean, listen, Rodri's the one part in that team that's irreplaceable. You can't go and find a single player, never mind two. Again, Gundogan was in there today, really struggled. Zubimendi's a player who's been talked about, Spanish player at Real Sociedad, I think about 25 years of age, would be a good profile fit. But he, as you say, isn't going to come for 6 months and then not play. Start of the day, I talked about Pep Guardiola and how good he was for the Premier League because he's an innovator and he's creative. And he will find a way, or he will come with a plan of playing something that plugs that gap. Don't be surprised if Ederson's playing centre midfield and somebody else. This guy thinks very differently, and the way that this run has gone, he'll have to go back to his football lab, he'll have to work things out and try and get things going. The football and the tactics is one thing, Rebecca. The attitude, the body language and the slight lack of hunger that's there today is another thing. That needs addressing as well. And that's something, this week, we thought all the news is good, he's staying for 2 years, it kickstarts this run. We didn't see it today.
Robbie, that's the test for me, right? Is Pep Guardiola has been a master at, and he talks about it, it's not how you train, it's how you show up to training, right? So he's always chopping and changing just a little bit based on body language and how you are around the training ground. And it's worked because he's only ever had to do it to one person, right? Take Foden in or out, take Grealish in or out. Now we're starting to see body language from Gundogan and from Walker and from multiple players on the pitch. We've never really actually seen Pep have to go, we've seen other Premier League clubs go, you five weren't good, off. This is going to be a time now, like he did it with John Stones, you hooked him at halftime, and you don't usually do that with your center back. This is going to be a collective now for Pep Guardiola to say, like, this isn't just one little tweak. I'm going to have to tweak the midfield, and I'm going to have to tweak quite a few players.
I think to that point as well, and again, we talked about it early today, start the show, Rebecca, these 9 players who are 30 or over, and these 3 players who are 30 in the next 12 months. This is an ageing group of players. As brilliant as they've been, as much as they've won, we are starting to get to the end of another cycle, and he's got to bring another group of players through.
Is that a mistake? They've let the squad get that old?
Well, there might have been a thought that, well, if Pep's going to a certain degree, we'll let that go and then somebody else will come in and rebuild it. But now he's staying for another 2 years. It looks like there's going to be work to do.
This is a bit ridiculous question because he's top of the goal-scoring charts.
Go for it.
But, of course, Haaland had a nightmare today. Of that, there is no doubt. Is another problem that Pep has, Tim, the fact that he sold Julian Alvarez. He has no competition, Erling Haaland, to come in and challenge him at any point. He plays pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hold off judgment there because, you know, when we looked at some of the highlights, he's in really good positions. He's getting in the same positions that he actually scores in. Didn't have his shooting boots on today, so that's fair. Ricardo stood on his head. I thought he was brilliant in goals. So I still think he leads the league in goals. He's getting in good positions. Again, if he was lethargic or he was allowing himself to be marked, that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna have to put this as 1 or 2 off, and he'll get back on track, in my opinion.
Isn't the point also we're not getting many goals from anywhere else, Rebecca? Yeah. Nobody else really looks at, you know, Foden's not on great form at the moment. KDB's been in and out. Bernardo Silva's kind of struggling a bit. Grealish. Not really anywhere else we've seen 4 or 5 goals that help him out.
Let's look at the title race, shall we? So it could go to 8 points tomorrow. If Liverpool win at Southampton, most people expect that to be the case, Tim. Then next weekend, it's the big game at Anfield. It is Liverpool against Manchester City. So feasibly, Liverpool beat Southampton, nobody would be surprised. There wouldn't be a huge amount of surprise if Liverpool win at home against Manchester City. Suddenly, then you're looking at an 11-point gap, Tim. Is that then too much at this stage of the season to make up?
For me, it is. For me, it is. And what I will tell you in terms of inside, and we've been inside these dressing rooms, what we're talking about here, what everybody on social media is talking about, Liverpool players, quietly, Slot won't allow them to talk, but when they're a team bus, when they're in a hotel, when they're at training, they're going to go, lads, if we win, by the way, we're halfway there. Like they know what beating City, now they'll say all the right things to us when they come out in the press, but those players know if they can do a job, not tomorrow, but next week, if they can do a job against City, that they could put real distance and they'll have an idea of it.
Absolutely. Already, you have to say it's theirs to lose already based on tomorrow and next weekend, surely.
Absolutely. There's not been many opportunities when Manchester City have been in this kind of form, this kind of disarray, and you've got a chance to put a gap. You have a chance to put 11-point gap. I don't care if it's on the slot and it's new and he's just come in and he's taken over from Jurgen Klopp teams and we shouldn't expect too much. You have a brilliant chance of winning the Premier League title, just like Leicester City did the year everybody else wasn't quite at it. And if that's the opportunity and on the slots group are ready, they've got enough about them, Rebecca. One of the best attacks in the league and the best defensive record in the league.
Klopp having any regrets?
I bet he is. But the interesting thing about this Slots team is this Liverpool team is a championship team. This is a title-winning. I mean, they're littered with championship title-winning players, so they understand what's at stake. Yes, Klopp's definitely.
Premier League's tomorrow, and they're playing Southampton. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.